So first, to begin, I want to get to know a little bit about the people in the room. Who calls himself an entrepreneur? Four guys? No. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. Okay. Who's working for a boss right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18. Okay, who wants to be an entrepreneur? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what the hell are the rest of you doing here? You can leave the room now, so we can make it a little bit more cozier. Okay. You can stay as well, because I'm going to talk a little bit about when to scale. A lot of startups are pressing on the scale button way too fast. So hopefully, with a little bit of my experience, you will press the scale button at the right time. So first, a little bit about myself. So I've started myself 12 companies, failed 4 times, biggest learnings ever. Sold 2 companies. 1 company had an IPO, but also had 2 bankruptcies, and also had a tumor twice. Learned to walk 4 times after 22 iterations. So I am a startup. I've accelerated myself 50 startups in the Startupbootcamp Amsterdam program, and I co-founded 3 accelerator programs. And I'm now busy also setting up an accelerator program in Africa. So why do I do this? Because I want to prevent you, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are a startup, I want to prevent you to making the same mistakes I have. I also want to keep you sane. Because a lot of startup things, I need to work 24 hours, 7 days a week. Bullshit. I always say, a running horse can't drink water, so you need to ease up a little. And of course, I'm doing this because it's the best job of the world. I'm only working with people who say, yes, I can. So a little bit about Startupbootcamp. We are the biggest accelerator in Europe. People call us also the best accelerator of Europe. And we're trying to set up a global accelerator program. So not US-centric, like Y Combinator. We want to make partnerships throughout the world. So, together with our partner programs, we accelerated now 270 companies. And I want to share with you our biggest learnings. Yeah? So 260 companies, of which now still are 228 alive. So we have about an average survival rate of 72%. In Amsterdam, we do it a little bit better. We have a survival rate of 95%, and we also have a funding rate of 100%. But the biggest learning is that a lot of startups press the scale button before they hit the product market fit. I hope everybody knows what a good product market fit is. And if you don't know, I will explain. Second biggest learning is that they hire the wrong employees. They need to go fast, or they think they need to go fast, so they hire fast. And then they sit behind a desk and they say, yeah, I'm really busy. And they don't fire them fast enough. And third thing, and most important thing, they don't get shit done. Yeah, there is no central person in a team who get the shit done, because everybody's running in the beginning, and central caretaker in the team is not there. So, product market fit. This is a product market fit. Yeah, there's already been a lot of talking about this morning. Use your customers to improve your product. Very simple. I'm a little bit thirsty. Oh, yeah. 1 second. Yeah. Do you want to hold my mic? Oh, okay. Also good. It's better to set up a glass over here than a bottle, because, yeah, thank you. So, use your customers. Your customers are your most important sources of any. They will help you improve your product. But also, if you take them in as your product advisor, they will be your ambassador. For example, when I started Just Eat, in 2002, nobody gives a shit about ordering online. I thought so, but nobody did. But we used our customers to, guys, how can we help the process better? Yeah, on both sides of the table. So not only restaurants, delivery restaurants, but also, of course, the people who ordered online. And we sat there and we thought, okay, how can we improve both sides of the table? So as a consumer, not calling like an Italian guy who can't speak your language, but needs to write your order down. And of course, on the other side, the restaurant, I'm baking my pizza, I don't want to pick up the phone. So we used a customer-centric approach way before the whole lean startup, because it was in our genes. We built the product, very, very, very early release. Yeah, we were totally embarrassed in hindsight about our first launch, but it doesn't matter. If you're not embarrassed about your first launch, then you launch too late. But we used both sides of the table, and finally we found a product market fit. And then we hit the scale button. So always put your customers in the middle. And if you think you hit a product market fit and you call your customer and they will not miss your product, you never have a product market fit. Very simple. So, and then the third one, we were market leader with Just Eat in one zip code. That is how we started. And then the next market for us was the adjacent zip code. Yeah, and that's how the oil stain started. We started in Amsterdam, and my joint venture partner in Denmark started in Copenhagen, and we met each other in 2006. And we were already in Germany and the UK, and they were only in Denmark. And then we said, okay, we need to go to the US. As many of you think that you need to go to the US. But I said, guys, in London or in the UK and the German market are the biggest market in Europe. So let's focus on Europe. In hindsight, we made a very, very good and difficult decision not to go to Germany, but to focus on the United Kingdom, because the average order amount was way, way bigger. It was almost 3 times bigger than in Germany. So we focus on the United Kingdom. This is the disadvantage of having an open bottle. Yeah, it's good for my hair. Yeah, and that was the best decision we ever made. In 2014, Just Eat went to the stock exchange, and we had a almost 60% higher valuation than our US competitor. So my message to you is, screw the US. Well, because here in Europe, we have a bigger market. Still a bigger market combined together. For instance, the amount of mobile phones in Europe are I think 40% more than the US. Why focus on the US? Biggest disadvantage of the US, they don't think in multilingual. We all are multilingual. United States don't think like that. And that's why Just Eat is now the biggest in the world, because we are now in, I think, 22 countries. Our biggest competitor in the US is still in the US. We have multilingual in our system. Screw the US, focus on Europe. That's my take on this. Okay. Make failure one of the most important part of your culture. Failure equals process. A lot of experiments during the process is the most important part. I always say, and this is one of my most famous expressions, because I always, okay, we are from Holland, I'm from Holland. Yeah, there are more bikes in Holland than people. Everybody has somewhere a scarf of riding a bike. How do you learn to ride a bike? Not by the book, just sitting on a bike, fall down, stand up again. This is exactly how you start a company. But don't start riding a bike in the middle of the highway, because then you're screwed. Yeah? So that is really important. Don't make failure part of your culture. So these are the main phase. Problem solution fit, then product market fit, and between that you will pivot. Then you go to scale. Only that then is when you go to scale. Before that, never, never, ever make your team bigger than 3 or 4. Because have you ever sit down with 10 people around a table to improve your product? It will never, ever, ever, ever happen. Make a small team, pivot, use your customer-centric approach, and then hit the scale button. But remember, before you can scale, it can maybe take up to 2 to 3 years. One of our alumni, Presentane, they're present here. It's a Ukraine startup. It took them 2 years. Nick, 2013 you started, and now 2015, US. You went to the US. Yeah, and now to US and Asia. But it took you now to have a product market fit. Yeah, and not because of you changed the product, but the market changed, and now there's a good product market fit. Yeah. But it can take you 2 to 3 years. My fastest one was 2.5 years. My slowest one was Just Eat, was 8 years. It took us 8 years to really have, and not because we changed the product, but the market changed and accepted our product. Momentum. So this is how a startup roll. I use always this picture. Test, 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 and then finish your product. Okay, hire the right people. Everybody starts, because they think, I have a product market fit, they hire the salespeople. But only hire a good salesperson if you have a product market fit. Because a sales guy can't do business development. He's not suitable for it. But you also can choose for a direct or a reseller approach. I've often used a reseller approach, and it took me for much less runway because they have an enormous market access. Also, in the beginning, when you choose to scale, try to focus on a B2C or a B2B only, because both ways I've tried it, done it, I failed. And this is definitely not a sales guy you want to have on your payroll. Hire the best people. So when if you find a team, 1, 2 guys, or hopefully 3, because I think 3 is the best, the best structure for a startup, take only the right people for the job. Test them first. Let them work for you 2, 3 months. Yeah, first kiss before you marry. Yeah, because marrying your first employees is one of the most most important job to do. Hire slow, fire fast. If you really slow, take a few months to hire your first employees, because they can help you, but also they can screw you. And if you think it doesn't fit, I always say, if it flies like a duck, quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, it's a duck. Follow your instinct. A lot of startups, they are running around, and then don't listen to the intuition. Listen to your intuition. If it doesn't match, get rid of him, of her or her. If you pay nuts, you always get monkeys. Yeah, very simple. Put a good salary and especially a stock option plan in the beginning, because then that is the way to attract the right people in the beginning, not if you're growing 20, 30 people, but the next team after the founders. Make them a part of your company. Your first employees are your most important asset. Make them part of it. And one of the most important parts as an entrepreneur, always walk the talk and leading by example. If you come to your business with a big car, well, people start spending heavily on other stuff, on your expense. So this certainly don't want to be the person you want to hire. So one of the most important part in any startup is, when you, in the beginning, but also when you scale, a good caretaker. A good caretaker knows how to get shit done. He's a natural connector with all the people. Finance operations is his responsibility, and he is responsible for company culture. Company culture is one of the most important parts in your startup life. Your company culture will be determined by the founders, leading by example, but also by the rest of the bunch. Yeah? If you have 10, 20 people working for you, then it will work like an oil stain. Company culture, really important. And preferably, a co-founder will be your caretaker. This is your favorite caretaker. A fix-it-everything guy. But I also had the experience to have a caretaker who thought, I'm the most important part of any company. Well, you're not. Yeah? So don't let him become a puppet master. Scaling is also about balance. Each step you will make in the scale up, you need to balance. Yeah? Because otherwise, you will go too fast and you will fail. Balance is everything in the first 5 years. One of the most important part, just what I explained, our beachhead market was a zip code. We were ruling that zip code. Every scooter in that zip code were Just Eat on it. Every restaurant in that zip code had Just Eat on it. And then everybody in that zip code thought, wow, big company. Yes, we were the biggest in that zip code. And then we started next. This is how you start a company. Do a proper market research. Yeah, if you go to the adjacent markets. In my case, zip code, of course, was the zip code where people ordered online, and not a zip code where nobody ordered online. If you go global, hire local people who know the market. Startupbootcamp was started in 2010, only in Copenhagen, and now we're present in 14 different cities across the globe. But all with local people. The guys in Barcelona are Spanish. The guys in Istanbul are from Turkey. The guys who are starting in New York, he's from New York, etc., etc., etc. The guys who are starting in Africa, I'm helping them, but these are African people who start a bootcamp in Africa. Hire local people who know the market, and they can help you. And of course, think global, but always act local. So, I hope this was useful based on my experience myself, but also experience with all of our alumni. And now, maybe there are questions, and if not, you can always recognize me on the guy on the Segway or with the orange stick. So you're most welcome to ask any questions you like.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we quite come time for...
No worries, I'm available afterward. Yeah, I've got, I can click. Yes, this is me. I just polished my tooth especially for this picture. So this is me. You can follow me on Twitter, and this is our Twitter handle for our Startup Bootcamp program. Yeah, you're welcome.